My question was about Mike Johnson and the big beautiful bill, because I don't think anybody thought that he'd be able to get it done. I mean, nobody thought he'd be able to get it passed by Memorial Day, and then
Yeah.
again by July 4th. It just seems like time and time again, he's pulling rabbits out of hats and making things happen. So I was wondering if it's typical for the party in power to lose a large number of seats in the midterms, and with the majority being so tight, it's almost just expected. Like, it's written in stone already that Republicans will lose the House come 2026. Do you think that there's something about Mike Johnson that he might be able to parlay into just defeating those odds and kind of beating everyone's expectations? And something that was kind of making me think this is I was talking with a friend of mine, and she's very, very, very Democrat. I mean, obviously we still get along. I think everyone should be friends with everyone you disagree with. But we were talking about the Medicaid cuts and the reforms in this bill. And I explained to her, like, look, the work requirements, it's 80 hours a month, and you're exempted if you have a child under 10 or if you are disabled. I was like, it doesn't seem that much like to ask for people to be staying on government health care. And she said, oh, I hadn't heard it that way. All I had heard
Mm.
so far is that 17 million people are losing health care and people are going to die. So I think, is a combination of the right messaging and just Mike Johnson's magic, could that bode well for the Republicans come 2026?
Oh my gosh, so many good questions, Colin. Let's like just star him and like bring him in first.
Sorry, that was a lot.
I wrote it. I wrote them down. I'm gonna tackle them in order if you don't mind. So
Yeah.
Johnson, in terms of his sort of superpower, his superpower is Donald Trump. I mean, yes, he has very much exceeded expectations, I will say. I mean, you go back just 7 months ago, some people in Trump orbit thought the president was actually going to sort of push him to the side and go with another speaker. But I'm sure the president is glad he didn't. Johnson warmed him sort of his way back into Donald Trump's good graces and has really worked with him to get this legislation through. I can say I did not expect them to get that Memorial Day deadline. I did not expect them to pass it by then. I certainly was skeptical about the Senate passing it by July 4th, and they passed the whole thing and sent it to Trump's desk. So yes, but I will say a big reason for his success is because of the man in the Oval Office. Nobody wants to cross Donald Trump. And the reason these conservatives and moderates cave and get in line is because they're afraid of him. So, that's more of a Donald Trump sort of thing. As for 2026, yes, the midterms, usually the party in power loses about 24 seats. Obviously, that would mean a Democratic sweep of the House. Last time around in 2018, when Trump was president, Democrats flipped 40 seats. So the odds are very much against House Republicans right now. But there is some hope that a couple of things could change that. Number one is the amount of money that Donald Trump has raised. What is the number now? Is it now $1 billion? I can't remember. It's
I think I saw 1.5 billion.
yeah, over the weekend, I think was that one of the headlines is so much money. And he's going to use that money to try to keep the House because he knows if Democrats flip the House, he's going to be impeached a third time. Like, let's all sort of just know, like, that's going to happen. We know that's going to happen. So he's going to really put a lot of money into that. And then the other thing is, Trump has really expanded his coalition, right? I mean, typically you have, a group of sort of minority voters that Democrats have counted on for a really long time to be a part of their base. And that portion of voters is having second thoughts about the Democratic Party. They moved over and voted for Donald Trump in wide margins. And so there is some hope that that could change things. And as for, Medicaid, it was, who was it this weekend? Was it, James Carlisle was actually like saying that the Medicaid bill was going to be the thing that lost Republicans the House, but it's not that simple, as you were saying, Colin, because work requirements themselves are actually pretty popular. They pull pretty well. And when you talk about taking away people's health care, yes, it really, rallies people and could very much help Democrats the way it did when they tried to repeal Obamacare in 2018. But this is a smaller segment of the population. It's, some people who are undocumented immigrants. And so it's not as sort of clear cut as the Obamacare example was. And so I think that there will be messaging challenges for Democrats, including the fact that a lot of this stuff doesn't even take effect until after the midterm. So you're going to have a lot of Democrats saying, hey, he's taking away health care, 14 million people are going to lose insurance, et cetera. But number one, it won't have happened by the midterms. Number two, it's a little more complicated with the work requirements and undocumented immigrants piece. And I just think it's not a sort of clean kill shot for the Democrats the way Obamacare repeal was. So I hope that gives you some answer of your very good questions.